All right. So obviously, I am Dustin Moody. I'm the athletic director here at Yorktown Middle School. I'm glad that you could all be here today to go over some of these things. This is a pretty easy way to do these meetings, so it should be pretty quick and painless. And like I said before, this is being recorded. It's going to go up on YouTube. So if you have a problem with that, you don't want to be in it, just make sure your camera's off, mute your mic, and you will not be included in the video. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is concussion protocol. So in years past, we have used impact testing for concussion protocol. We are not doing that anymore. A lot of the doctors that were, when kids would get concussions, they go to the doctor. Those doctors didn't use our test results. They didn't use really any of the impact testing stuff. So we kind of just said, this is a process that's time consuming and not very valuable. So in lieu of that, we have a corporation nurse. Her name is Brooke Wagner, and she's going to kind of be my point person on everything that is injuries, including concussions. So if your student athlete exhibits concussion-like symptoms during a practice, during a match, whatever it may be, they will be sat out of that and they will be evaluated before they can return. Brooke will be the person that will tell me when that student can return to practice or competition. So they'll go through her. Now, that doesn't mean that she's going to be like their doctor. Your doctor will still take precedence over everything that goes on there, but she will receive a note from your doctor, which will clear the student athlete to return. So she's going to handle all of that for me, and I'm going to basically go to her and say, when is so-and-so, when can they return? When they can return, she will confirm it for me, and that's kind of how we'll handle all of that. So and she'll handle other things as well, other injuries, as has happened in the past, but we're just kind of lumping concussions in with that as well. So grades are a big thing here at Yorktown. I personally do the grade checks. I do them at the quarter and at the midterm, which midterm is supposed to be tomorrow. Obviously, I'm sure you all are aware of all the things that are going on at the moment. So the plan was to check them tomorrow. I'm not sure that that's the plan now, but obviously you will all be kept in the loop when we figure out that situation. So the way we handle it is if a student athlete has two Fs, two failing grades, they are immediately ineligible. Now they are ineligible for 2 weeks, and then I check the grades again. If they have completed the grades, they've gotten their grades up, they have fewer than two Fs at that 2 week mark, then they are immediately eligible and can resume activities. When they are ineligible, they are not allowed to travel with the team, and they are not allowed to compete in any meets. We do allow them to stay with the team, and we do allow them to practice because we think that that's a good motivator for them to raise those grades. Also, we do not let the students immediately fix grades that are failing. So if I check them that day, they find out and they go turn in 15 assignments to their math teacher, I'm not going to change the way that I handle that. I'll check in 2 weeks and we will evaluate from there. A few reasons we do that is one, I don't want to put that on my teachers to get 15 assignments graded in a night because they want this kid to be eligible. That's not fair for them. Some of them would do that, and it's just not fair for them, so I don't put that on them. And secondly, we don't want the kids to operate that way. They need to care about their grades from day one to day 183. That's just kind of how we hope they handle it, and I think we set a bad precedent if we let them have Fs up until that check and then immediately fix it for them. I just think that's the wrong way to go about it. So we check every 2 weeks. If they are ineligible at that 2 week check, they are ineligible for 2 more weeks, and we repeat the process until either they are eligible or until the season is over. So that's kind of how we handle grades. Yeah. Playing time, playing time is kind of determined in practices and in wrestle offs. So I leave that all up to Coach Boone and fully support his decisions when it comes to playing time. The kids kind of earn that. He's shown that in the past, and I have no reason to believe he won't do the same in the future. So it's not really as relevant in wrestling as it is in other sports. But once again, if it ever comes up, I defer to him. So he kind of knows what he's doing there. Conduct, we stress to our athletes that when they put on uniforms, they represent Yorktown. we kind of hold parents up to the same standards. We don't want anything going on that is inappropriate at games. We shouldn't be yelling at officials. We shouldn't be causing a ruckus and making Yorktown look bad. We kind of want to set the standard that the kids are held up to, and that's definitely an expectation. So I always like to mention that. COVID changes. Obviously, things are a little different with COVID, as today has shown. But we have a few things that are in place to protect our student athletes. Masks and sanitizer rules, when they are not doing anything that's strenuous, are very strict and are in place. We hope that you guys will support those outside of practices and hopefully, practice those things as well, because it seems like they help a little bit and could keep us out of a situation where we have to cancel meets or whatever because of outbreaks. So we kind of have those things and hope that we can follow them. Fan attendance. Fan attendance is a weird one this year. We are down to 250 people per event. That doesn't affect duels, but the Super Six and county are certainly going to be affected by that. Do I know what we're doing attendance-wise? I don't. I have no clue how we're going to handle that. Obviously, I need to know rosters beforehand to even calculate what those numbers look like. We have to include teams and we have to include officials in that 250 number. So it's looking, unless things change, it's looking like having fans at the Super Six and at county is going to be pretty unlikely. We did that for volleyball this year. When we did HAC volleyball, we had no fans. It might happen that way this year. I don't want to say it will because I'm not sure yet, but it's looking like some sports are going to vouchers. You guys will probably not be vouchers when it comes to duels, but those bigger tournaments are going to be tough. And we'll see when we get closer to those what things look like and what we'll be able to do. Tickets this year are going to be $5, which is up from $3. Everybody in the county is going that direction, so that's kind of why we're doing that. They'll also be first come, first serve for the most part. We're not going to hold tickets. Can't call ahead and say, hey, I've got 3 people. Can you hold some tickets? We're not going to do that. So that came up a little bit in the fall occasionally, so just wanted to say that. And then no all sports passes this year. It's tough to honor those at the moment, so we just decided not to do them. Concessions, we will have concessions. We'll have bottled drinks and we'll have prepackaged candies. We're not going to have the cheese machine that is super unhealthy and terrible but tastes delicious. We're not going to have that anymore. We're not going to have popcorn this year. We're not going to have hot dogs, just the prepackaged stuff. But we'll have some of that and that'll be available. So, and then seating, we do have the bleachers marked with X's, and definitely encourage social distancing when we are at events. Included in that is masks. We require masks for all events. So those are things that we're kind of looking at now. Am I going to ask people to wear masks? I will. I'll have announcements going on and stuff. We'll do that beforehand, and I anticipate asking people to put masks on if it becomes egregious. Social distancing is a very difficult one for me to do. I'm not going to go up in the stands and tell people to separate. It would be nice if we could all sit in family units and separate as much as we can, but that's not something that I'm ready or willing to even police. So we just kind of hope that we do those things to, in the spirit of trying to make sure we don't have to cancel things because of people getting sick with COVID. So those are some of the things that I just wanted to address. I also am here for any questions that you may have. Before we do that, I do want to add one thing. The schedule is actually online. I know Coach Boone is probably going to hand out something to you. He likes to make beautiful little packets that he goes home and decorates with all his little girly things that he does. But that schedule there is going to potentially change. So I do want to direct you to Yorktown Athletics, where they will have the schedule that once I update that on EventLink, that goes straight out and changes. So if anything is canceled or dates are moved, which I've had to already do for basketball, those things will immediately go up on Yorktown Athletics, and you can check that. And then the final thing is YMS Athletics on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I put up all the updates. When we found out about the school being virtual today, I immediately sent out a tweet that said all practices are still on tonight. So if you want those things quickly, the best way to do it is follow me on Twitter, because I post that stuff when I find out. So aside from that, I'm going to hand it over to Coach Boone. I don't know if he has anything that he wants to say in this video.
I don't have anything for the video, but when you stop recording it, can you leave the Zoom meeting up so the people that are online can hear what I have to say afterwards?
Yeah, for sure. Well, if that is all that you have, I'm going to go ahead and call this. I'm going to stop the recording here. And if you ever have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to email myself or email Coach Boone here, and we'll definitely help you out. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to stop the recording, but I'll leave the Zoom up.